annual.
Yeah.
It means it happens once a year, and this is the second year.
Oh.
Hey guys, and welcome back to the FreeSkate. It is so good to be back finally. We've been waiting a little bit to see the last three competitions, and now that they're done, we are just going to kind of talk about bits and pieces and the important parts of the Canadian Championships, the US Championships, and the European Championships. No, do you have any thoughts to echo?
I didn't know that you were going to let me speak. I just thought you would speak.
Oh, I just decided to speak this time because you do it all the time, so. Okay, so I guess let's start with the first one that happened. The Canadian Championships were the first thing to happen. So it was kind of an interesting event because I think you got to see a lot of Canada's young and upcoming skaters. So they're not at the World Championship levels yet, but it was really neat to see the talent that's going to come out of Canada in the next few years. And there is definitely some talent coming out of Canada the next few years, specifically the pairs and ice dance. Those two have a lot of promise and a lot of hope.
Pairs?
Yeah. I think the top 5 pairs right now in Canada are going to be really good. We have the champions that won, Kirsten Moore-Towers and Michael Marinero. They did earn their Canadian title.
Don't care for them. Sorry.
It was a runaway victory for them. It wasn't really close, but they did definitely deserve it. They skated very well in both programs. So I did actually something. Jesse's gonna hate this. I did an interesting comparison of the skates and the marks. And I have, in written brackets, I have their total written by where they would have placed in last year's World. So we have a little bit of a gauge of maybe where they could stand if they skated kind of the same way. Of course, national scoring is a little bit higher, but...
Judged, you mean?
It's... Huh?
Higher judged.
Well, it's I guess, an easier judge. So, Kirsten Moore-Towers and Michael Marinero, actually, they did fairly well. They did get over 200, so they got 2.75, and that would have put them around 8th place in last year's World. So, if they could manage to finish around between 6th and 8th, and they still had a few mistakes, so they could improve on those scores. I think they could really gun for a top 6 finish, which would be really good for Canada.
Let me know when it's my turn. So I got a lot to say.
So the silver medalists were Evelyn Walsh and Trent Michaud, which, by the way, is Caitlin Osmond's boyfriend. I had no idea.
Oh, that's who that is?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
They're actually a really good-looking team. They have a lot of potential. They've only been together a few years, and they are very young. I think 23 and 18 or 17 or something like that. And Ruin Wolf were 3rd. But you know who kind of stood out for me also? It was the 4th and 5th place teams, Matt and Ferland, and Brasseur and Bardet. Brasseur and Bardet have hands down the best triple twist in Canada. It's so Russian-like almost. They get way up in the air. They have a beautiful catch. They have a lot of potential. So watch for that name in the future.
Well,
so okay, I'm gonna go just to men and women to hit just for a second here. The women shaped up to be very different than what everyone thought they would be. We thought Gabby was a runaway for gold, and Elaine.
Yeah, we really well. I didn't know exactly how I felt what Gabby do. I was just excited she was back, but I was a little worried about a cardio. I was talking about the entire time.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I wonder what's going to happen. Let's be honest, with Gabby, that was her main issue.
Oh, for sure.
Besides, it doesn't matter about the jumps, you guys. When you don't have the energy and you don't have the conditioning, you're not jumping because you need energy to be able to jump.
Well, and Gabby
that hurt her automatically.
Gabby only had a few weeks to prepare before this competition. You could really, really tell. In saying that, I don't think we're really worried about her.
No.
She will train hard to come back, and she will be very strong. So I'm not really worried about that. You could just tell her conditioning was okay.
Gabby, you're going to be okay. So, it's just her conditioning.
Absolutely.
That's
and
the only issue.
She knows that. And I'm really glad she's been so open about her mental health because it's so important to try and end that stigma and try and talk about it.
Gabby, if you guys go watch, she got around to 73, and it's not a 73-point performance. It was basically judged a little bit higher than expected, but it was more her conditioning again. She lacked in her program, she lacked in her, which caused her jumping problems, and it just didn't look fluid and smooth like normal Gabby.
Elaine Chartrand, she is the Canadian champion again. And you know what? She kind of came back
by
to this
default.
one. Well, not really. I mean, she was fifth in the short program. She came back from behind. She only had 59 in her short program, and she ended up getting she actually got 126 in her free skate, which actually isn't too bad. She just really needs to work on her presentation and her delivery of her program. So she needs to put in a few more transitions, but she was very strong technically, and so she had a 185 total. So her 185 total, she's definitely gonna, if she wants to be top 10 in the world, she's definitely gonna have to improve.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna tell you, Ryan. You're telling people out there about it, but when you hear a 185, there ain't one person out there on camera land, YouTube land, bigger skinny land is going, I'm shaking, I'm scared.
Well, obviously
it's not high enough.
That, but I'm saying
this is what I'm talking about. When Ryan's talking about the Canadian Nationals, he overhypes it. You guys know me. I will fucking tell you exactly how it is. It was, unfortunately, Canada's going through its, new era, and it's going through its new phase. So we're going to be more at the bottom, and we're trying to get to the top. We're looking up now. We were looking down on everyone else on most fields. Now we're looking up because we might get Caitlin Osmond back. Caitlin Osmond said she might be back. She's not for sure gone, so we'll see what happens there for the women's. But the women's field without Gabby is going to be a train wreck. And Elaine, to me, she did good on her technical, but her program still lacks me. It's just there's nothing there. There's no it factor. There's no excitement. There's no wow, she's got the potential. She's got this. She's won it for a second time, though, right? It's the second time in nationals. But she also won it on, when I say defaults, I mean Caitlin's not there for this year.
Anyway,
Caitlin's not this year. Gabby, unfortunately, is not up to her par.
Yeah.
Ryan is right in a sense, too, I will be honest. She was fifth. She did have to make up the marks, and she did it. So you have to say kudos to her. So.
And the plus for her is she's skating better this year than she has in a long time. She's been much more consistent this year.
Well, in the long.
I think she's giving herself a fighting chance to be a top 10 in the world. Her score would be comparable to
I don't see a top 10
last year. But I mean, we'll just.
Where do you see top 10?
Okay, so that's where we will leave the women. Let's go to the men. So the boy that I want to talk about is Steven Gogolev. He won the silver medal, but man, is he Canada's future. He is going to be the life of the Canadian.
He is the world future right now.
Oh,
he looks so good, you guys. And it was the first time I actually got to see him. I've never even seen him before, but all we heard was when we were telling you a few videos ago, we were saying, this kid's the up-and-coming, blah, blah, and then we got to see it, and I was like... So I said to her, and you guys, I'm very hard, and you know that, but I said to Ryan, I'm like, okay, this kid excites me. This kid is making me be like, wow, okay. It's like the Hanu to me. He's so good on his jumps. He jumps, and I'm like, oh... I'm not even worried. I don't hold on. Sometimes with some skaters, I'm always holding on for it and hoping no pop or anything. And he's just so fluid, so good that way. Listen, he's still growing, so we're going to see what happens here. But even his skating and program, I loved it for his age. I thought it was really good. I was literally entertained. And sometimes when they're 13, 14, 15, we watch them oh, good technically, but we're oh, the program's kind of boring. Or even, and any senior skater can be like that too. Mm-hmm. You could be all jumps and just your program kind of lacks. To me, he's got it, and he's showing huge potential. I loved his short, I loved his long.
Yeah.
Honestly, you guys, I think he should have won, but whatever. We'll save that for after.
He's only 14, first of all. He can't even compete at the Senior Worlds until 2021.
2 more years.
Which actually really sucks because Montreal is holding the Worlds next year and he can't go there,
which is our Canadian, right? It's in our city, so
that's
or in
tough.
Our country.
But the kid scored 254 for his two performances. He definitely does need to work on his speed, his overall speed, his speed through his step sequence. He needs to work on some transitions and to really.
But that's a 14-year-old body.
But I mean, that will come again. He's 14.
Oh, it's coming.
The kid's got a quad loop. The kid's got a quad Lutz. The kid's got a quad Salco. The kid's got a quad. So, there's nothing he can't do.
He does everything technically. He can check every box, you guys.
So, Nam Nguyen won the gold medal. He's Canadian champion again. He was 258.01 overall. He is definitely stronger and faster than last year.
He is that. I'll give him that.
He still could improve on his speed and his spins.
I just find his program was boring. I'm not even worried about his technical.
You know what?
I thought he was okay on his technical.
There were actually parts of his program I enjoyed, and I think there were parts of his programs that kind of were stale. Well, he definitely won because he was consistent on his quads. Unfortunately, Steven Gogolev popped one of
Failed
his
one,
quads,
yeah.
and that was the reason why he lost for sure. So I had a little tidbit here, 258.01. Actually, Nam, really, if he skates well, he could place top 5 in the world. That would have been good for 5th place last year.
Let's talk about Keegan. I knew this was going to be a failure.
He definitely had a bit of a rough competition. He looked just a little bit off the whole competition. He didn't quite have his landing stick.
Like, he's so freaking fast that I feel, okay, you guys, like, he's faster than I think any figure, like, I don't know, I don't see a figure skater as fast as him.
Oh, no.
Just saying, like, I really don't see it.
fastest.
He just, but is it not like he's, like, on ADD the entire time? He's just,
He's on speed.
and every single thing he does, you guys, is in top flight. It's not necessarily a bad thing, but I think it can hurt him in the sense of when he's got to calm down, bring the shoulders back, bring life back, and just relax when you got to do something special.
I think sometimes he needs to pull it back just a little bit, not a whole ton.
Yeah, just in certain areas, just to showcase your talent.
And especially, I think, going into jumps, I think he has to pull it back a little bit too, because I think that's why he is off balance in his landings a lot, because he goes a little bit too much. He goes too fast. The kid goes from this end to that end of the rink in like literally like 4 seconds.
I know.
Like, it's absolutely ridiculous.
Like, what do you guys think of him? Like, we want to hear about your comments about him too. Like,
Weaver and Poge won by a very slim margin, 213.78 to 212.31 over Gillis and Poirier. Gillis and Poirier actually won the free dance, and third place went to Fournier, Baudry, and Sorensen, the couple that skated for Denmark the last few years and were the Danish champions. They had trouble getting citizenship, so they couldn't compete for the Olympics for Denmark, even though they had a qualified spot. So they decided to come to Canada because she's Canadian. So by the time the next Olympics come around, he will probably have a Canadian citizenship. So they won the bronze medal. They were actually very strong. I haven't seen them skate that good, I don't think, ever. So they're something to take notice with too. And they were 198.41, so a really good, nice Canadian debut to win that bronze medal. So Gillis and Poirier, their rhythm dance scored 83.08, and Weaver and Poge's were 85.19, both very high scores. That is coming in between probably 2 and 3 points of the French for their scores for the rhythm dance, so they're right up there. I think Weaver and Poge had an absolutely stunning rhythm dance. I think their rhythm dance is the best in the world this year, in my opinion. I love how it builds at the end, the tango that they have, and her quick feet movement that looks like they're actually performing on a ballroom floor is absolutely unreal. I've never seen somebody skate like that before and pull it off like they're actually ballroom dancing, so good for them. I think it was fantastic. And then Gillis and Poirier had a really nice one too. What did you think of their free dance? Because their free dance, Gillis and Poirier actually won their free dance with 129.23. Weaver and Poge got 120.59. What was your opinion?
I don't know. I got to watch it yesterday, and he watched it live. I just watched it yesterday because I just kind of wanted to see what was going on. So, anyways, for me, I think Weaver and Poge, that's the second best free dance in the world. I did get to see the French's, and I thought theirs actually is number one. I'm like, okay, that looks amazing this year. They're free. The French's first. The French's short. What is it called? Short
rhythm dance.
The French's rhythm dance. I don't think it's that great, you guys. I don't think it's as good as being scored. I'm sorry, but I'm gonna just put it out there and be honest about it. It doesn't do a lot for me. It doesn't excite me, except for near the end, it's good.
I'm going to agree with that.
I don't think it's that great, and I think there's some out there that can beat that, but we'll see what the judges think. So, the judges do. So back to the Canadians. I felt like Gillis and Poirier's was not as good. I was bored. I didn't think it was like... I thought they had amazing highlights in that free, but I didn't think it was like overall solid great. I was like, I kept complaining to Ryan. I'm like, boring. Doesn't feel that good to me. He's like, really? I love it. Like, he loves it. And when I seen Weaver and Poge, I seen them last, I was like, wow. First of all, her dress is freaking amazing. She looks great. Has a journey and a path that you go through with them that sucks you in. And I was like, I was hard on them. And I think the people who have watched us for a long time know that I've been hard on them for a long time, and I'm like, said to Ryan, this is one of the best I've ever seen of them, and one of the best. Like, I absolutely love it. So I don't know. I think they should have won the free in the Canadian.
I don't know if they lost a level here or there. It usually will come down to the levels in a lift. If
Right.
they got a level 3 between a level 4 or something like that, because that will be that difference, because it was such a small difference. And I think I really like Gillis and Poirier's free dance because it's so seamless and it's very unique. They do a lot of unique lifts in there that no one else does. Even their opening when they go into that spin right off the bat, and she's standing straight up and he's holding her. It's just something that's very unique, I guess, but very subtle.
I feel when we get to like the worlds and stuff, Weaver and Poirier will get the recognition for it and beat them.
Mm-hmm. I think it's going to be very close between Weaver, Poirier, Gillis, Poirier, and Hubble and Donahue.
We still have the Russians, and they did really good against the French.
Yes.
So it's going to be a battle.
Actually,
at the ice
the battle for
the
second,
top five.
the battle for second and third are going to be between, for sure, Sinitsina and Katsalpol will be in there. What's the other Russian team? Stepanov and Buchan, Hubble and Donahue, Shock and Bates might make a run for it.
I used to love them.
And the two Canadians. So the top probably 5 to 6 ice dance teams in the world are stacked. They're going to be very, very close, you guys. So it's going to be a very exciting competition. So the European Championships, it was Javier Fernandez's swan song. He is done his competition, which is heartbreaking for me because I absolutely love watching him skate. But I'm so happy that he ended up on a high note and he won the gold medal. He won his European Championships. He got 271.59. He was actually third in the short program and he ended up winning overall. I was a little bit worried that he wouldn't win, but he ended up pulling it off, and I'm so happy. Alexander Samarin was second, and the surprise third place, bronze medal, good for him, Matteo Rizzo of Italy. He was 10th in the short program, and he ended up winning bronze. He was third
my poor Coliata.
Oh, Mikhail Coliata is just, I don't know whether he needs to take a year off and get his mental strategies under order, but I mean,
It's not that. It's his skating's flawless. He can jump. His problem is I think he overthinks when he's jumping, because when you're an athlete and you've been just struggling and struggling and struggling, he almost needs like a sports psychologist to kind of just don't think about, I got to nail this one. I think he's thinking a lot going into his jumps just because he's fallen for the last 2 years so many times, right? His jumping is there. His technique is fine. It's not an issue. His issue is it's the pop or it's the...
It's a pop. It's always a pop.
Or he falls, and it's just because he's overthinking.
I would say he pops more than he falls. Actually.
Yeah, well, he does.
He reminds me of Emmanuel Sandu when he used to skate.
But he's so good. Like, he's got so much talent and skill, and it's going to waste because he's overthinking his jumps.
Yeah, the poor guy. He was
first at 100.
He won the short program, and he was 11th in the free skate.
And I love him, poor guy. I just like him because I think he's very good and skillful. It's just his jumping hurts him. It always gets the better of him.
So Alexander Samarin won the silver medal. My favorite part about this kid is his quad lutz. That's it. His quad lutz is just unbelievable. He ended up with 269.84, so him and Javier finished very close. But Javier edged him with Man of La Mancha, his free program, his little Spanish thing there. Super fun to watch. He did that one really good. So the ladies, the gold medalist was not Zagitova. She got the silver medal. However, Sofia Samodarova of Russia won the gold. And honestly, I was really hard on chat boards and stuff on Golden Skate about her performance at Russian Nationals and Sofia Samodarova. I didn't feel it. I thought she wasn't really into it. I thought she had a lot of sass in the program.
I loved her.
Wasn't very whatever. At the Europeans, it was like watching a whole different skater. I loved it. She 100% deserved it. I was super entertained. It's like before she was going through the motions, and this time she put herself into that program.
Her program was great. Her long program was really good.
Zagitova, again, you know what? Having trouble again this year.
She's had one good year and it's already going downhill. She's now failed to win again.
Sometimes, she's gone through another big growth spurt, so she might take a year or two to figure that out. That's kind of what I'm thinking. But she's definitely not going to be the favorite.
You know what?
To
It's
win
more
this
than that,
year.
though. It's like I said all last year, and unfortunately I said it again. Remember, I said this to you when we were watching it. You're like, yeah, you remember. And I said last year, people don't get it. It's so much easier to do all your skating at one point and then do all your backload at the end.
Oh, for sure.
And jump. It is much harder as an athlete to be able to have to do everything combined overall because you're not saving energy anywhere. You got to use it, portion it in each spot of your 4-minute program. That's why she's falling more this year.
Hey, that could be
It's a lot harder than people think. If I could just go out there and skate, because you know what she did last year, she could go from jump to jump, but she was just skating jump to jump because she already did her program basically all in the beginning. So she just did her jumps all at the end and she was skating jump to jump. Well, if we could all do that, like back in the 90s, well, I guess they could all get those. The thing is, put it all together in a package and doing what she's doing now. Now she's going, oh, it's not as easy as it was last year. Because it's more energy, it's more focus.
Yeah.
You got to go from I got to go do this little sequence, and then I got to get into a jump.
Yeah.
Last year it was I'm just going to go skate and do jump to jump to jump to jump. So there's no thinking. It's just the skating's done, the technical part's done, or the program's done. Now it's just technical. So unfortunately for her, that's why we're seeing her fall this year. That's why we're seeing her go down this year, and I feel for her because I do like her and I want her to do well. It's just we're seeing the honesty of the sport right now. Mm-hmm. That's the honesty. That's why get rid of that like they did this year because that was bullshit.
Right. So the other women skated that were in this competition here, very all over the place. Was a very interesting event for standings. The bronze medalist, I don't think anyone saw coming. Viveka Lindfors of Finland actually won the bronze medal.
I've never even heard of her.
She did enough to win. Good for her.
I've never heard of her.
Good for Finland. Anyway, so Konstantinova of Russia, again, 11th in the short program, 2nd in the free skate. Missed the medal by that much. That much. She won 4th overall. And one of my new favorite lady skaters, she's so cute. She's coming up. She's seems to be very consistent. Alexia Paganini of Switzerland, guys. She's actually super. I don't know if exciting is the right word, but she's very delightful to watch. She was 3rd in the short program, and she fell to 6th overall because she was 7th in the free skate.
Well, guess what happens? Once you get to the it's like we say the term of it separates the men from the boys.
Right.
Well, the short separates, from the long. And
if
the
she
long
had
really
another triple, I think she would have.
Her problem is she doesn't have the technical game to stay in that. And remember, this was the Euros.
Yeah.
The Euros has nobody except for the Russians.
That's half of the world. It's the Russians and Japanese.
Now, you compare that with the U.S. women that were in there. We had Brady Tennell and the young 13-year-old, what's her name? Alyssa Liu?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I got
Good
that
job.
right. I can't even believe I remember that. Who was 3rd for U.S.? Who got the bronze? I don't even know.
Mariah Bell.
Oh, well, that's not surprising. That's all they have. But Brady Tennell was the one to beat here, and she struggled in the long. Mm-hmm. Not necessarily in the short. She was there in the short, but she struggled in the long.
Right.
Not terribly, just... Alyssa Liu landed everything. She's got like 2 triple axels. Holy cow. Must be nice, America.
No, honestly, they need somebody like that coming up. She nailed her triple axels the whole competition.
Yeah. There was no worry.
She is Tara Lipinski version 2.0, and she's her own girl, and she is going to give the world a run for their money, for sure. So all the Russians have those little girls coming up in a few years.
America has theirs.
America's got Alyssa Liu, who is too young to even go to junior worlds, by the way. So she can't even compete anymore. She's done competition for the rest of the season. She has nothing she's eligible for, so she's going to Disneyland. With a gold medal that she gave.
Well, you deserve it, Alyssa Liu.
Absolutely.
What was her Total score, do you know?
Oh, she got 217.51.
You guys, she's 13 years old and she got 217. Is that even...
That's phenomenal.
How can that even... I don't have a sentence to put together because I don't understand. She's 13, she got 217. That's what the tops do in the seniors.
Yeah.
Holy cow, what is she going to do?
Well, the
She's
Russian
older.
girls are a little bit more than that because they got quads. So...
Yeah.
But they have to land them.
Right.
And they're all not competing this year because all the Russian medalists are too young.
Sorry,
It's a young skater's world right now.
It is, because, and here, I was just going to say, things are changing now. Do you ever notice now the women are putting in their triple axels? Mm-hmm. More women are coming. Now the new era, you guys, is going to be triple axels in the women's field.
Yep.
And hopefully in the men.
Well, and speaking of men, Nathan Chen, he won by an absolutely ridiculous margin.
I didn't even watch it because I knew that's how freaking it was going to be.
I mean, that's not a surprise. I think the margin of victory was a surprise.
Well,
the guy won by...
50? 8?
He got 342 points. Like, what? That's almost unheard of. That is ridiculous. And I will say that Shaylin Bourne's choreography for his program, his FreeSkate, I'm in love with it. I
didn't love it.
No, not his FreeSkate, his short program. His short program, Shaylin Bourne did the choreography for. I think his short program is the best in the world this year.
I didn't love his long program. Sorry.
But you know what? When you rattle off 4 quads, do you have to love it? You're still going to gain those 4 quads points.
Yeah.
Like, you're separating yourself.
Well, it doesn't matter what I think. The guy just got 340. What can I say?
Yeah, no kidding. Hey.
I just didn't love it. I don't know why.
Vincent Zhao was second with 284. So do the math. 342 minus 284. That's absolutely ridiculous. And good for Jason Brown. He put together back-to-back performances that were noteworthy, and he finished with 273. That's excellent for him. So good for Jason. He's always a crowd favorite. Hi, Jason. And so compare that with, I guess, the European men, and actually the 2 American men would have beaten all the European men this year, including Javier. So you know what, America's in good for the men. And comparing the ice dances, well, you know what, Hubble and Donahue did okay. They did 215.88. That's actually quite good. And Chalk and Bates were 211.52. So very strong there.
I just feel like the short program should not be a big difference in between the French and the rest of the tops in the world, because I'm sorry, that French rhythm dance isn't that great.
I enjoy...
not that it's bad. It's just, it's not like 4, 3, 5 points ahead of the rest.
I enjoy Weaver and Poget's rhythm dance more than the French's, to be quite honest with you. And so obviously Papadakis is his own word, the European gold medalist this year.
Which they deserve, because they're, like I said, their long program is the best in the world.
Stepanova and Buchan were second, and I love that they had their twizzle where they go down on their, like, shoot the duck position, but they didn't include them in the twizzles, but it was more of a choreography move at the end of the program. Super cool. That's like they're one of my favorite teams too. And the Italians won bronze, so good for them, for Italy to get on the ice dance sport again. I just feel like I need to talk about James and Cypre. Again, they actually won the European Championships, you guys. They held off Tarasov and Morozov. And thank God Tarasova and Morozov changed their short program from that stupid James Brown to an actual classical short program.
You complained about that so many times in this video this year that they actually moved. I think they actually watched the video.
I'm taking credit for that. They changed because of me, so thank you. So, and James and Cypre got 225, so really strong score there. And they're so exciting to watch. I don't know how you can't like them. I'm sure you've all watched them. And Tarasov and Morozov were 218. They did have their mistakes. I feel like they would have beaten the French if they would have been clean. They probably would have been around 230, but they just had too many mistakes, and James Cypre ended up with the gold medal. Oh, look at that, sweet. He's lying on me now.
I'm going to sleep.
And
it's taking long.
You know what? How about Boykova and Kozlovsky getting the bronze medal? Did you watch them? I don't think.
What is that, Paris?
What is that? Yeah.
No.
They are the ones who I talked about earlier this year, saying that they reminded me of Gordiev and Grinkov, and I said they are going to be the new future of pair skating for Russia. They are phenomenal. They are so young, and they are getting such world recognition. They're skating like a team that's been together for 10 years, and I can't wait to see them grow. If they're already this good, I can't wait to see what they're going to be like come the next Olympics. Like, watch out! I think they're going to be the favorites to win, and they ended up with a bronze European medal this year. So we will be back for our next video, which is going to be the 4 continents. It's coming up in Anaheim, California, and I would actually really love to go there. Can we go there?
Where is it?
Anaheim.
The 4 continents is in Anaheim this year?
Mhm.
Oh, so it's in America?
It is.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Huh.
Okay, cool. So thanks for watching, and we will see you later. Peace out.
Bye!